All right. Okay, I think we're recording. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Rachel, and I am the scatterbrained crazy leader of Team Restoration Nation. Many of you have joined from either me or through some people on my team, and I am so excited about this challenge together. So this is our first time ever doing a truly themed challenge, which I'm really excited about. And I am so pumped for everything that we have planned for you for the next 30 days. So I hope you're ready and you are prepped and ready to go. We're going to go through a lot tonight. We're going to be respectful of your time, so we're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes or less. I'm going to just introduce myself really briefly and give you background. So my name is Rachel, like I said. I am mom to a wild little boy who's 2.5, almost 3. I'm pregnant with our second little boy, so we're going to have double trouble here in a couple of weeks, due in November. And I'm married to my sweetheart of 5+ years. So my story kind of started when I got married. I was a size 4, still very unhealthy habits, even being so small. But I had a very active job. And so at the time, it really didn't matter what my habits were because I was so active. I transitioned to a desk job and subsequently gained about 75 pounds in 3 years. And then at that point, I also got pregnant and then gained 25 more pounds. So I had gone up to about a size 16, 18 and was miserable, very depressed, anxious. Had gone to the doctor and said, I need out. I had a 6-month-old and I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. And so I was just depressed and miserable in my own skin. And my family was going through a lot. So there's a lot more to that story. But I found my cousin who had just started her own journey, and she was doing a dance workout called Size. And I didn't know what it was all about, but all I know is I hate working out and I wanted to dance, and I've secretly always kind of want to be a backup dancer, like a step up movie. But y'all, if you know me, I'm a total spaz attack, and that would never happen. But I locked the door for months, and I was like, husband, if you come down here, you're sleeping on the couch tonight. You cannot watch me do this workout. But I had a blast, and I lost 40 pounds doing it. In the process, I fell in love with the community, which I'm so excited for you guys to experience. That's like the missing piece for me. I had tried many, many things over the years, fad diets and supplements, and I had a gym membership for years that I never used. And I fell in love with this community and the focus on healthy habits, and ultimately ended up in January of 2016 is when I launched my coaching business. And in August, I left and came home full time to be with my boy. So I've been doing this full time for about a year, and I love it. And I have a incredible, as you all know, because you're here, heart-focused team of people who are doing this with me, and I'm so thankful. So that's a little bit about my story. I'm going to share my screen. Like I said, I'm not the most technical person in the world, so hopefully you guys can see it. So this is let's see if I can go full screen. We're going to get real fancy here, guys. So full screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. Actually, now I can't see you. So change of plans, not full screen. So prep rally with Restoration Nation. You're here. You're excited. You're probably a little bit scared, maybe a lot nervous. You're afraid of failing. We have all been there. So this may not be your first rodeo with losing weight, and that's okay. It wasn't mine either. But we want to kind of lay down the ground rules for you of what to expect with us to ease your fears, answer your questions, and we're hoping to do that in the next 25 minutes or so. So we're Restoration Nation, as you know. We are all about restoring lives, one body, mindset, and heart at a time. That's our motto. So I want to kind of walk you through what the time is going to be like with us for the next 30 days. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Each day, we're going to post an assignment. It's going to be, I think it's scheduled for about 5:30 in the morning. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time zone that we're in. So it'll go up at that point because I know we have people all over the country that are doing this with us. But this is what.
Can you please come here?
Say what? Hold on. I'm gonna mute. I think we had a couple people jump on late, so I'm gonna mute everyone. Sorry, my bad. If you're on, make sure to get yourself muted if you will. And if you have questions at the end, you can pop on. I think that's everybody. Sorry, guys. Okay, so at the beginning of the morning, I'm going to post an assignment, and it's going to look like this pretty graphic that my husband is so very talented and made all these images and graphics. So if you see his handiwork, it's all him, it's not me. But it'll have, there are a couple pieces to it. So it'll have 2 pieces to it. Piece 1 is your daily assignment. This is what you would experience if you're in a non-fitness FEUD themed group. And basically, with weight loss and a health journey, you really have to address the heart of your relationship with the food and the heart of your mindset to see success in this journey. Because if you don't address some of our underlying rooted issues with food and emotional eating and things like that, which a lot of us struggle with, you're never going to really see the lasting change. And so a lot of our assignments focus on, like I said, emotional eating, because that's a big trigger for me. When I'm stressed or emotional, I go straight to food, and it's not healthy food. So these daily assignments could be mindset, could be water intake. It could be, I might get real mean and make you post a picture of everything you ate that day to keep you on track. So don't hate me, but I'll be posting that assignment. At the bottom of the assignment, it's going to have a fitness FEUD question. So we surveyed it ended up being about 60 people who filled out this survey. And it's basically Family Feud style. So if you ever watch Family Feud, you know what it's like, but you're going to put your answer in the comments of this post. At the end of the day, which I'll show you in a second, we'll release the answer. But whatever point is associated with the number of people who picked your response will be the points that you get for that day for this specific challenge. And we'll go over that. So look for this post. It'll be the pinned post at the top of the challenge group app. At the end of the day, this is what you're going to look for. So, and the survey says, and it'll give you the answer of the question and also the equivalent points to the question. So your coach will be keeping track of your points throughout this whole challenge, so you don't have to worry about it. But you will get points. Like if you picked an answer that had 45 people who said that same answer, you get 45 points. So this is a great way to stay on track with helping your team reach their goals. So that's what to look for at the end of the day. Now I'm going to go over just kind of a few. When you're first starting out, there's some pretty common questions that people ask on how to stay on track and different miscellaneous things. So I'm going to go through some miscellaneous, what we're going to call face-off tips, and then hopefully some of your questions will be answered at that point. So number 1 question I'm getting is, how do you treat muscle soreness? So for those of you who haven't worked out in a while, or maybe you're starting a new program and this intensity level is pretty high for you, muscle soreness is going to be your enemy right now. So I have a couple things to recommend for muscle soreness. Doesn't matter how advanced you are on your fitness level or beginner level, you're probably going to be sore of some kind, and that's a good thing. But there are ways to avoid painful soreness. So the number 1 thing that I can say is drink lots of water. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But water is the key to keeping your muscles hydrated, which helps all of that lactic acid get out of your system and flush it out so you're sore for a shorter period of time. If you didn't see it in our prep week, we talked about it, but divide your body weight in half, and that's the number of ounces that you get. So if you're 100 pounds, you would get 50 ounces a day. The second thing is Epsom salt baths are really great at the end of the day, followed by foam rolling. So if you can get a foam roller, that's a great option for stretching, particularly with people with back pain and knee issues. A foam roller is crucial because your IT band gets really tight, your glutes get really tight. And if you need specific stretches on how to use the foam roller, let me know and I'll post some in our challenge group. But that's a really great tool to have. I think you can get it at Five and Below. You can get it at Target, at Walmart. They're super cheap and a great investment to keep you not, as you're trying to use the bathroom and not like hating your life. The last thing that I highly recommend is there's a 5-minute pre-bedtime stretch routine on Beachbody On Demand. It's in the program called Core to Force. So you're going to search for Core to Force, and then in the workout list, it'll say 5-minute bedtime stretch or something. But it's literally 5 minutes of stretching to help get your muscles loosened before you go to bed, and that decreases the soreness for the next day. So I highly recommend taking 5 minutes to do that and prepare your body for the next day. Don't skip your workouts if you're super sore. Modify if you need to, but if you keep pressing play, that lactic acid will get out of your body and you'll feel better. So the next thing is listening to your body during your workouts. Pain versus just a hard workout. So a lot of times people struggle with this and they feel that their bodies should be farther along than they are. So they push through to a point of injury. And that's something that we don't want our ladies and men and whoever's in this team to do that, because we don't want you to get injured. So be mindful of your body. If you are in pain during any move, modify or skip it and put it in place with something else. So if you have bad knees, lunges probably are not going to be your friend. Feel free to do a plank. You can do a squat. You can do anything in replace of that move, but know your body well enough to know that you don't want to flare up an old injury. It's better to be overly cautious and not get injured and just slowly working up yourself to where you want to be than to get injured and set you back for several weeks in your journey, much less within this challenge, because you'd be really frustrated and that would not be fun. So the next question that I had gotten was tips on eating out and how to do this on vacation. So I know a couple people are going to be taking I know I myself am taking a weekend trip next weekend. So a couple things. One, my two tips for if you're going on vacation, pack your shakes and pack healthy snacks. You will not be able to control everything. And so you're going to do your very best. Healthy snacks, fruits, fresh vegetables, things like that, almonds, all kinds of things that you can have for healthy snacks. If you have them on hand and you get the munchies, you have those to grab to versus mindless eating with a lot of snacking that you may be presented with. So pack your shakes, have healthy options as far as snacks go on hand. Your other thing that you can do is look ahead. This is what I do for eating out, for those of you who will be eating out, because it's inevitable. We're going to have social settings in the next 30 days. We can't be hermit crabs for 30 days and stay in our house. Although that might be easier and better on our weight loss goals, we would go crazy. So a couple of tips on eating out. The first thing is to plan ahead. So figure out where you're going to go ahead of time and look at the menu ahead of time. That's going to save you the stress of sitting down at the menu and saying, oh my gosh, I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to eat. If you take the time ahead of time to review the menu, then you go in with a game plan, you are drastically less tempted, and you can leave feeling confident in your choices. Always ask for cheese and dressings on the side. Those are the two things that tend to be overeaten on accident. Even if you order a really yummy salad, they might load it up with cheese and dressings. So just order that on the side. You can still have it, especially those that are doing the portion fixed nutrition system. You can still have those things, just when we're wanting to watch our portions. Let's see what else. Steamed over fried, that one's kind of a no-brainer. Another thing I like to do is put half of my meal in a to-go box before I even start eating. So I go ahead and put half of it in there because that way I'm limiting my portions, making sure that I'm eating enough, watching what I'm eating. And the key really, honestly, to eating out is water intake. Your body's naturally, even if you pick good choices, going to have extra sodium that it didn't plan for. So just up your water intake to flush that out and you'll be perfectly fine. Don't let it stress you out. This is supposed to be a lifestyle shift, not a restrictive diet that you hate every single day. We don't want that. So if you're struggling, let us know. If you're going somewhere and you want your coach to look over the menu, send them the menu and they can review it and help you pick something off of it. Okay, only a couple more things and then we'll go to the next one. I get asked a lot about caffeine, coffee intake specifically. And a disclaimer, I am the worst person to ask about this. I will tell you that I have never cut out my cream and sugar out of my coffee. I did lose 80 pounds, so you can still have those things and lose 80 pounds. But here's what I did. I used to be a dump kind of girl. I would just dump till it looked nice and white and creamy with my coffee. So I started measuring it out and I started decreasing the amount in my coffee and I started decreasing the amount of my sugar and things like that. I cannot drink coffee black. I'm just not wired that way. Some people are, and I'm really jealous of that because I really wish I could, but I just can't. So you have to find what works for you. And I would encourage you, if you have a high caffeine intake right now, slowly decrease it over the next week, because if not, you're going to have withdrawal headaches. You're going to hate your life, and we don't want that for the first week. So if you drink 5 cups of coffee right now, tomorrow drink 4, Tuesday drink 4, Wednesday drink 3, and so on and so forth to decrease your caffeine intake. So water intake. So 2 more things, and then we're done. Water intake is extremely crucial to weight loss for one reason that people don't realize. So and this is going to be weird. We're going to talk about this on this call, but hopefully we'll become a family and it won't weird you out anymore. Digestion. So if our digestion is super off, you're not going to see the results that you want because your body's not getting rid of all of that junk in your system. So water intake is hands down the number one thing that I can tell you to work on increasing. And I'm terrible at it. I don't like drinking water. It's not something I'm good at, but it's something that I have noticed on the days that I don't drink enough water, those weeks, the scale doesn't move nearly as much as it does if I have been on my water intake all week. So for digestion purposes, really work towards that. We're going to post some flash challenges. So we might say, as soon as you see this, drink 16 ounces of water, post picture proof below. So be prepared for that. We like to keep things exciting around here. So last 2, maybe 2 more things. Last 2. I have a philosophy about working out, okay? And so working out is not necessarily fun every day. In fact, for a lot of days, it can be a chore. And a lot of days, you just don't want to do it. So I have kind of this rule that has worked really well for me in the last 2 years, and it's called my 5-minute rule. I promise myself if I go and I press play and I get through the first 5 minutes of the workout and I still just cannot seem to get into it, then I can stop. But what happens is that after 5 minutes, your body has woken up, you're proud of yourself for pressing play, and I've only one time in 2 years stopped a workout after the 5-minute rule, because you feel so good when you get going, but sometimes it's just that start that stops you. So implement the 5-minute rule is great. And then our last thing is I want you guys to remember grace. So especially as we approach every Saturday, we're going to have a weigh-in and measurement. So first thing Saturday morning, you're going to want to get up. Before you eat or drink anything, you go and you weigh and you measure, and then you're going to share your results in the group. Now, it's very common for week 1 for you to either see a high number, if this is a huge drastic overhaul to your nutrition and all of that. If it's not, and something that you may not see a big number. And some people might even see a small weight gain. And it's because your body is in shock from working out. You're retaining a lot of cortisol in your body, which translates to water weight. And it will go down in week 2. So the biggest thing I want you to remember, we'll talk about this a lot, is grace in your journey. This is not about a timeline. This is a long-term change that we're working to make as a team. And so grace is going to be your best friend. And as your coaches, reach out to us. That's our job. Like when you're struggling, tell us, because we can't help you if we don't know. So we are your lifeline for this next 30 days and probably beyond. So know that we signed up with you to help you and to truly be there for you as you need us. Okay, so how to earn points. This is posted in our challenge group. I put it up today again. I encourage you to screenshot it on your phone so you have it for reference. But these are the different ways that you can earn points. By logging your sweaty selfie after your workout, logging your shake, make sure to take a picture. It has a picture with it. The daily survey. The one thing to note is when you post on social media, make sure you're tagging your coach. Because that's what's going to get you entered with that point. And then referring a friend. So you can go back to our group to look over those. So here are the prizes. It was just so exciting. So the team prizes, we have 2 things that you can earn. So the winning team, the team with the most points. So every team has 10 people. The winning team is, each person in that team is going to get a packaged gift from us, and it could have Energize, performance line supplements, it might have some Shakeology, it might have some tank tops, it might have some goodies. We're just going to keep it exciting for you, but every person in that team with the winning points will get a prize. But if they're whoever across the board, you do not have to be on the winning team to win this prize. Let's say you are the highest point earner at the end of the 30 days, but you're on a different team. You get gifted the Beachbody Energy, a tub of Beachbody Energize, which is our natural pre-workout. The caffeine source is green tea and coffee bean, and it is my lifeline pregnant. The only way that I get moving in the mornings. So you're going to be gifted 40 servings of Beachbody Energize. So there's two different ways to earn prizes. So I think that's it. If what you guys will do is, I'm going to stop screen share. There's so many people on. This is awesome. Okay, so if what you guys, I'm going to call a couple of my coaches to just briefly share their story, and we're going to wrap up with any questions that you guys may have. Don't be shy. If you don't want to talk them out loud, you can put them in the chat and we'll answer them as well. But I'm going to call out Miss Carla. Actually, Carla, will you unmute yourself? You can share just a little bit of your story, and then we'll go with Miss Laurel and then Bethany.
Am I there? You know how well I do with this unmuting.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So my name's Carla, and I started as a challenger just like you guys in November of 2016 doing, I did 2 rounds of quarter force. And I hope you guys listened to everything Rachel said, because about a week and a half into the program, I sent her something and told her that I was in pain, and she was mean and it hurt. And why was she doing this to me? And she promised me if I stuck with it, it would get better, and it did, and I'm so glad that I did. So I started coaching in January, the end of January of this year, because I just fell in love with the program so much. And since I started the program, I've lost 4 pounds-ish. I'm on maintenance. And let me just say, I've gone up and down, up and down, up and down with that 30 to 40 pounds for, gosh, probably 15 years since I hit 30, and metabolism just went, down the tubes. And I've never hit a maintenance level. And even when I hit where I settled myself for the maintenance, I never maintained it. And I have been maintaining my weight since March of this year, which is huge, huge, huge for me. Y'all have no clue. And it's from doing this program. And I'm just really excited that you guys are joining. And the weight loss aside, I feel better than I have felt in years. I look better than I feel like I have looked in years. But I'm my cholesterol numbers are within a healthy range, and I just feel really good. And I'm just really, really excited about doing this with you guys. So I'm so glad. Sorry, I have a large Great Dane jumping behind me. I'm so excited that you guys are all joining us.
I love hearing your story, and it never gets old. She is a rock star, y'all. So if you're on Team Carla, you're a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so Miss Laurel, is she still on the call? I don't think I see her. She sometimes has really bad. Oh no, I see Laurel's iPhone. There you are, Laurel. I'm unmuting you. Can you go ahead?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay! Hey, everyone. I am. Yes, I'm sorry. I did not do housework today, so sorry. My story is I've been a coach now for technically 2 years, but only been actively working it or promoting it for the last year. I worked in a hair salon for 13 years, and the atmosphere was just toxic, and I brought it home, and it just amplified into my life and everything, and I had gained over 30 to 40 pounds. And I have been doing Beachbody now for obviously a while. I'm almost down 30 pounds. I'm trying to go for 10 more. Yay, I'm so close. I've been suffering in this little maintenance circle. I need to bump it up. So I'm working on it, but I will get there. My thing about that is it is constant thinking about what you're eating And you just have to keep going, whether you get depressed or you're not. It just doesn't go away, and you can fix it, but nobody else can. You have to do that. That's the big thing. What else was I going to say about that? But this fitness feud is awesome because it definitely shows that part of the missing circle, which I think we all decided, is that to have people encourage you and support you is huge. When you don't have the support system, you don't have that extra confidence, I would say would be a good word for that, to get up and push play or to walk away from the pizza. I'm a pizza girl. So to walk away from that is huge. So when you have people who ask you how you are, how your workout was and stuff, this makes all the difference in the world, that you're not doing it on your own. And those days when you are stressed, you can still have people who are right there with you. So that's a huge thing. So I'm so excited for everybody to be here, and that's my story.
Aw, thanks, Laurel. I couldn't agree more. That support and community is like literally the missing piece for me, at least. And I know her too. Okay, Bethany, last one, and then we'll wrap up with questions because we are on point with time. I'm so proud of us. All right, I'm unmuting you, Bethany. You're good to go.
Okay, cool. Can y'all hear me? I've never done this before. Okay, so I'm Bethany. So a bit of my story, I got married about 3 years ago, and I don't know, this might be TMI, but I got like this birth control put in my arm that made me gain a ton of weight. And also I went in grad school really quickly after getting married, and just being an adult is hard. So in 3 years, well, it hasn't been quite 3 years. In like maybe 2.5 years, I had gained like 30 pounds. And I was just really unhappy and not very confident with my body or how I looked or anything. And so about a year ago, one of my friends started coaching. And, I just kind of came to the realization as like, okay, like kind of have to stop like putting yourself last. I'm a teacher. That's what I went to grad school for. And I was just noticing that like I wanted to give so much to my students, but I wasn't putting any effort into myself. So I was just trying to pour consistently from an empty cup, and it was just running me to the ground. And so I started last September. It was going well. And then my coach decided to stop coaching, and she offered to put me in Rachel's group. And I said no because I was too busy. So like, what up, Bethany? You didn't really learn that lesson. And so I kind of fell off the train again, gained some of the weight back, and finally reached out to Rachel at I don't know, maybe like March, April. And I'm like Laurel, like Rachel said, like accountability is the biggest motivator for me. I don't like to say that I'm really competitive, but I am. Like, I've ripped cards in card games before fighting over them. And so when people challenge me to do something, I really just want to do it to prove to them that I can. So like, whether it be like getting up at 5:15 to work out with Rachel and the other girls, which I haven't been very consistent about because it's summer break, but I'm getting back into it. Like, I just want to prove to them that I'm going to be there. And it doesn't work like that with my husband. He just told me today, he's like, you're just going to roll your eyes at me if I tell you to work out tonight. But if you have to tell the girls you're coaching and you have to tell your coach that you didn't work out today, then you're going to do it. And so my biggest piece of advice for now, because I didn't do this, was just take your stats, take your progress pictures. I didn't do those things in the beginning. I don't know exactly where I started. So for me, like, it's hard to gauge how successful I've been, except for the past few months where I have been taking that. And I really, really wish I had that to begin with, just to prove to myself, like, yes, you did it. Again, that like challenge kind of aspect that really drives me. But also just don't be afraid to ask for help. It took me a long time to get over that pride of, I don't know, I just didn't want to feel like I didn't know how to work out or eat healthy. I feel like we all know the textbook answers for how to do some of those things because we have to learn it in school, but then actually putting it to practice is really hard. And it's just so much easier when you have a community of people here to support you and love you and encourage you in your whole journey. So yeah, that's my story.
Y'all, okay, so how cool is it that this team is just like So heart and people focused. Like, I love this team. Okay, so enough of that. So thank you ladies for sharing your stories. You guys are awesome. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for choosing us to start your journey or continue your journey or take your journey to the next level. So I'm going to open it up to questions. And then after that, we're done. We'll respect your Sunday night. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. Does anybody have any questions? You can raise your hand and I'll unmute you. You don't have to be shy. If you don't, then that means we did our job and we covered everything. We have one. Miss Connie, I'm going to unmute you. What you got, girl?
Hi. So I'm going camping in the next couple of weeks, and I'm wondering, how do I do the shakes? Can I use like a shaker thing with that?
So with the shakes, you can do it. It's not, I'm just going to disclaimer, it's not going to taste all that great. It's going to take like a traditional protein shake when you make it that way. But for the purpose of providing your body the nutrients that you need while you're away, I highly recommend it. So yes, you can just shake your cup in water and just shake it and go. I wouldn't do more than 8 ounces of water. The less you have to drink, the better. It just really tastes better when you blend it and you make it all nice and yummy and all that good stuff. So the answer is yes. I have always packed mine wherever I went and prayed for a blender. And if not, then I would just drink it. So if that helps.
And then exercising while I'm camping, can that be like, going on a hike or anything like that? Just kind of make it more probably cardio wise.
What for the challenge? You mean whatever you feel, as long as you're getting active, that's what's important to me. There is an option just for everybody to know. You can download up to 7 workouts on your phone. So that way you're not using Wi-Fi, and you might not even be in a place where you can use Wi-Fi. And so if you felt like it, you could download a couple of workouts, and do that. And if you need instructions on how to do that, let me know. You only do it on your phone, but if you pull up the program that you're doing and you look to the right of the actual workout itself, so let's say you're doing Shift Shop Speed 25, you pull that up to the right, it looks like a download button. So you hit that and it saves it to your phone, but it goes away after 7 days. So it only stays on your phone for 7 days. But everybody has that option if you're going somewhere or if you just don't want to use your data or your Wi-Fi, you can download it and then have it for the week. So either way, you can either count your hikes and stuff. If you want to bring, your stretching routines too, you can do that. You might want those. But yes, you can. Either whatever works for you. As long as you're getting active, that's what matters.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? I'm going to look at all of your pretty faces. Bueller. No, I see you, Meredith. Okay, I think we're done. So thank you guys. We're going to wrap it up. If you think of something, make sure to message your coach, post it in the group, whatever it may be. But tomorrow starts the pointing of the counts, or counting of the points. Prego brain, sorry y'all. Counting of the points starts tomorrow. So we'll start keeping track of everything tomorrow for the next 30 days. And just know at the end of this 30 days, every coach that we have on this team has an opportunity for you to continue. So it's not 30 days and done. If you decide you love the community and can't live without it, we have a place for you and your family from this point on. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for taking the time to join us tonight. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach us. But y'all got this. Tomorrow's day 1. All right. Bye, guys.